The LouieTeeNetwork is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the Command Post Live. You know what this is. Post up. Take command. Of course, I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. So I literally was just on live. What do we always say, right? When I'm live, as soon as I get off, that's when shit happens. It never happens while I'm live. It always happens after I get off. So, of course, we're talking schedule earlier in the day. As soon as I get off, boom, Fox drops this gem of a tweet on our melons. All right, this butte that you see in front of you right now. We're bringing the heat in week 16, can't miss doubleheader, catch an NFC East clash as the Eagles take on the Commanders, followed by a NFC North battle between the Packers and the Bears. We don't care about the Packers and the Bears. Nightcap, we care about the game that's going to start this doubleheader off. It's the Commanders hosting, and that is key, hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. So, my friends, if you're keeping track, keeping score at home, we expect the announcement. We could be wrong. I don't think we're wrong. JD Cinco, hey! We expect that announcement tomorrow on Good Morning America. That's going to send us to Madrid in week 11. A lot of us think that there's a Christmas, at a bare minimum, a Thanksgiving game with our name on it. This game is 1 week before Christmas, right? So this is a setup because think about this. And this is, again, I'm all over this schedule shit. I love this schedule shit. Okay. We're going to be covering this thing like a glove, like a blanket this week. So if you think about it, last year, they had the 4 teams that were playing on Christmas play the Saturday before. You remember? So the Chiefs played the Texans. The Ravens played the Steelers. And then what did we get on Christmas a week later, or less than a week later? Because that was on a Sunday, a Saturday. We got those teams playing. And then Christmas was on a Wednesday, right? Christmas was on a Wednesday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days off. So it's sort of like Sunday, then you play on Thursday. So that's why they had to play on a Saturday. And then they played the following Wednesday on Christmas. And it was Chiefs versus Steelers, Ravens versus Texans. Same 4 teams just jumbled up and playing each other in a different. You think this is on accident? The Eagles played the Bears and the Packers, and we play the Bears and the Packers. You see what's about to happen here, right? These same 4 teams are playing on Christmas as well. Come on, man. This shit ain't rocket science. They did the same. The blueprint was out from last year. The Eagles are playing on Christmas, probably against the Packers. We're playing on Christmas. I don't know. Maybe against the Chiefs. It could be against the Bears because it's a triple header this year. So they're inserting another game on Thursday this year. So it could still be Chiefs, Commanders, and the Bears could be playing somebody else, right? Or we could be playing the Bears on Christmas Day. Again, don't kill me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just here to deliver a message. That's it. So our schedule is heating up already. The Jaden Daniels effect is alive and in color. Don't diss the man or the league or bum rush your mother. Listen what I'm saying. I'm for real. I'm not playing. Jaden is the man. You better hit your knees and start praying. This shit is going down this year. You've got a Saturday. We weren't banking on a Saturday, but I told you, I said, throw in another one of them shits at the end of the year, right? One of those random Saturday shits at the end of the year. Well, this is that right here. Here it is. We don't even have to account for that anymore. We know what it is. Eagles, Commanders, week 16 at the crib. And that's important because I like getting my divisional games against opponents at home late in the season, right? Like with the Giants, I don't really give a shit where it's at. Home, away, we supposed to sweep their ass, personally, at this point. So whether we play, like, you want one home game in the division early just so if your shit ain't going well, this is an opportunity for you to get your shit off. But I would prefer to get my roadies out of the way early, because in case you need it late, like if we needed that game against Dallas last year, that would have been tough on the road in Dallas. Now, you know, it is what it is. It's family business. But I would rather that game be at the crib. I'd rather that game be at the crib. One of the things that stood out about our schedule back in 2012 when we made that run, not to go all the way back in the timeline, but we had all of our games, except for the Eagles that year. Eagles were ass that year in 2012. So it didn't matter that we played them late in the season at home because they weren't any good that year. However, we had the Giants late in the season at home. Boy, did we need it, right? We had the Giants at home late in that season. That was on a Monday night. Remember, the Giants were the Super Bowl champions the year before, so we needed that game late in the season at home. And then we had the Cowboys, if you remember. That was the big showdown. Winner takes all. Loser goes home. Winner wins the division. Week 17. That was at the crib. That's why you want those games at home. You don't know what it's going to mean as you get to that point of the season. You don't know. So being that one's, I doubt that we're going to play the Eagles twice in a 3-week span or whatever, right? That's week 16. You only have 2 games left after that. So you have to assume that the other Eagles matchup is earlier in the season. Of course, it's going to be on the road at Philadelphia. I don't care. I don't care. And now the likelihood is that other Philadelphia Eagles game probably going to be on Fox at 1 p.m. I mean, at 4:25. But again, this one is a Fox game. It feels like one of those Philadelphia Eagles games was going to be on like Thursday, Sunday, Monday. But this Saturday kind of fits that mold, if you will. So in my mind, the other Philadelphia game is going to be a Fox 4:25 or a CBS game, right? Somebody's going to get that game because, you know, now they cross-pollinate. So even if it's an all NFC matchup, CBS can still dip their hand in there and get a piece of the pie. So either way, it feels like a 4:25 kick, the Philadelphia game at home. But our schedule's heating up, folks, because think about it. This feels like Christmas, right? This feels like a precursor to Philadelphia's playing on Christmas, Washington's playing on Christmas. So that would make it a third, because we getting a game on the international game in Spain against the Dolphins. We getting that. And I'm here to tell you, we getting that week 1 Sunday night game. Sunday or Monday. I'm right now, you can't convince me that it's not Monday. You can't convince me that it's not Monday. I've been warning y'all for weeks now. When this shit comes out, you're going to see what I'm talking about what they're trying to do and how they're trying to put us front and center. They're trying to put Jaden Daniels as the marquee quarterback on this side of the bracket. It's lining up. That's 2 guys, for those of you keeping count at home. I know the Madrid one isn't finalized yet. Like that hasn't been substantiated. That's going down. You know, that's going down. And all of the damn breadcrumbs that have been dropped, including our coach speaking in Spanish at his press conference to say no comment. All the tea leaves are there. Okay. They already know they're going to Madrid. So that's 2 guys. Ladies and gents, that's two prime timers. You know, we getting either Thanksgiving or Christmas. Feels like Christmas right now. I wouldn't rule out both. I wouldn't rule out both at this point. But we're getting at least 7 primetime spots. 5, your traditional 5, your 2 Mondays, your 2 Sundays, your 1 Thursday. Now you got a Saturday, and then you got Madrid. That's 7. That's 7. That's not including any games that could be flex late in the season, what may have you. We don't know if we're going to be a part of that. Hey, the Commanders have a week 17, or well, that week 16 game would have been it, right? Week 17 probably would be it, where they can flex you either way. So if we're not on Christmas Day, then I think they may leave us open for that. Hey, this could be a Saturday game or this could be a Sunday game. It feels like we're going to be Christmas, though. because I'm just going off of the last year's blueprint. They took the 4 teams in the Saturday game the week before Christmas, and that's why they were all bitching, because they had like 3 games in 14 days. And they're going to take those same 4 teams playing on that Saturday prior to Christmas and put their asses on Christmas Day. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. So if you got Miami week 11, you got this one week 16, you got week 1 Sunday Night Football, fill in the rest of the gaps wherever you want. And then you're going to have at least 5 to 6 425 kicks this year, or 405, right? Because you got 2 West Coast games just off the strength of playing the AFC West. So you got to travel to, if I'm not mistaken, the Chargers and the Raiders. No. The Raiders are coming to us. So it's Kansas City and the Chargers. You got 2 West Coast trips. The Chiefs are more Midwest, but who's counting, right? That's still a 425 kick whenever that game happens, if it's not Christmas Day or Sunday Night Football or some other day, right? So it's looking like 1 o'clock might be a thing of the past, which we already kind of talked about, but it's coming to fruition. Like, expect 17 games. Expect no more than, I would say 6, no more than 6 1 o'clock games this year. I'm thinking the number's 5. 5 games where you're playing at 1 o'clock, where you're just like, all right, we're going to chill this week. Y'all playing the Vikings. Don't nobody give a shit. We're going to chill this week. That's on Fox at 1 o'clock. Y'all playing the Giants this week. Don't nobody give a shit but y'all 2 teams. We're gonna let that one rock at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, right? There's enough of those on the schedule where they can kind of navigate it, right? But, Raiders at 1, yeah, we cool on that one. Yeah, that's at 1 o'clock. No worries. You good. But for the most part, this schedule, you got the likes of the Lions and the Chargers and the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Packers and the Falcons. There's so many juicy matchups. The Bears, I don't know if I mentioned them already or not. So many juicy matchups. There's no way they're putting those games on at 1 o'clock. Even if it's not in a primetime slot, there's no way those games are going on at a 1 o'clock slot. This shit's heating up. And I love the fact that this week 16 matchup against the Eagles is at home. It's at home. Because that game could be for something. That could be fighting for a wild card spot like we were last year. That could be fighting for the damn division with the Eagles. That could be fighting for the number 1 seed in the conference. Who knows what that game means? It's going to mean something for somebody. Them, us, both. That game going to mean something for somebody. And I'm glad it's at the Crizzo. That's for damn sure. So, anyway. Somebody said, Mike Lowry said, football guys, I apologize for taking the 1 p.m. slot for granted. He on a knee praying. It's too late for that. It's too late for that. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late now. It's too late. This feels good. I'm excited. Feels good. Let's get to the comment section. I ain't here to talk you to death. I just want to come on. That one hit me as soon as I came off. I was like, you stinking bastards. You always do this to me. If you haven't already done so, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Over 300 of y'all out there, only 54 likes. I like a 3-to-1 ratio. So if we can push that thing up over 100, I would really appreciate it. He says, make sure your Netflix account's in good standing. Look, you got time. Like, you ain't got to worry about it right now. But as we get closer to December, either make sure you got a valid password, or that person's password and account that you're using, they have multiple the capabilities to have multiple people watching. If it's only a standard Netflix account where only 2 people can be watching simultaneously, you probably need to get your own Netflix. Okay. All right. Just so we're clear, because it's going down on Christmas Day. So make sure your Netflix like video channel said, is in good standing, ready to rock and roll. You don't have no hiccups, no issues. So when that game kick off, boy, they shoot they shit in 8K. I don't know what the hell Netflix was on last year, but that shit was sparkling. That shit look, I mean, CBS to me has the cleanest coverage. Like, they shit is just like 4K, right? Netflix shit looked like 8K. Okay. That shit was like 3D. I don't know what they had going on last year, but that shit looked different. Can't wait to see us in that environment. And again, we're not guaranteed to be on Christmas. Feels like it though. And you know, if it were up to me, I don't want none of them holiday shits. Let me enjoy my holiday in peace. Okay. You know, I don't really want nothing to do with Christmas, nothing to do with Thanksgiving. Hell, you want to do Black Friday? I'm down for the cause. I'm already out and about. I'm in them streets shopping anyway. So I'm good with a Black Friday game if you wanted to put us there. But I really don't want any parts of Thanksgiving. I really don't want any parts of Christmas. But I'm no longer in a position to tell the football gods or the schedule makers what I don't want to do. The JD effect, the Jaden Daniels effect is much bigger than me or my hopes, wishes, and desires. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Make sure your Netflix is in good standing in the month of December. That's all I will tell you. Marcus B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Marcus B writes, game late because it's going to be for the division. Watch. It could be. I mean, I think Philadelphia wrapped up the division last year in what? I want to say it was week 17. They wrapped it up the week before the last game of the season. Because they didn't need that final game of the season. They were able to rest their guys in their last game of the season last year. They might have even wrapped it up in week 16. Because our loss to Dallas pretty much doomed us. Had we not lost to Dallas, we'd had the same divisional record. That win against Philadelphia in week 16 was huge. But we needed help still because of that Dallas loss. And we never got it. So they owned a better overall record, but they also owned a better conference record than we did because of that loss to Dallas. That loss to Dallas. And then the next tiebreaker would have been wins against common opponents. They had more wins against common opponents. They beat both the Steelers and the Ravens. We did not. So we weren't going to beat them in a tiebreaker situation and scenario. We needed to have a better record than them. That's why I think they clinched it with I think they clinched it in week 16 with 2 weeks to go. Because I think what the Eagles finish either 13-4 or 14-3. If they were 14-3, then we couldn't have caught them regardless. I think they were 13-4. But they won like 10 in a row before we beat them. So, and I think they lost I think they won their last game of the season. So I think they ended up 14-3 is what they ended up. Because they couldn't catch the Lions and the Vikings. But they just fell short of them. So they were 14-3. That game in week 16 is going to mean something. I don't know for who, and I don't know what's going to be on the line. But similar to last year's, we played them in week 16 last year, and it was an epic classic. That's why they're running it back here on a Saturday. Because we played them in that exact same week at home last year, and it was a thriller. Like a lot of our games were. If it wasn't a blowout by us, it was a thrilling game with late game heroics by JD Cinco. So anyway, this is going to be fun. Marcus B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Marcus B writes, better play caller, Cliff or Shanahan? I still think Kyle Shanahan's a better play caller. Now, I won't say play caller. I would say that Cliff might be the better play caller. I think he does a better job sequencing plays. But if you're talking about offensive coordinator, offensive mind, I think that goes to Kyle Shanahan, because Kyle Shanahan, I mean, look at what he's doing with Brock Purdy. I'm not sure if Cliff could do that with a lesser quarterback. I think that's when you really find out how good of a play caller you are, if you're able to take a guy that's mid and turn him into a dynamic, player, one that you have to at least respect, which Brock Purdy has clearly garnered respect in league circles. You got to respect that. You have to respect that. I've seen Shanahan do it with a bunch of quarterbacks. Matt Schaub, not that he was a bum, but by no means was Matt Schaub an all-pro. I saw him do it with Derek Anderson, I think, in Cleveland. Obviously, I've seen him do it with Jimmy Garoppolo. I've seen him do it with Brock Purdy. Then when you give him elite talent like Matt Ryan, he goes out and has an MVP season and goes all the way to the Super Bowl. So he's the kind of guy that you can give him, meager talent, and he's going to take that meager talent and make it good. And you give him good to elite talent, and he's going to make him an MVP candidate. Cliff, I mean, we've only seen him, work with elite quarterbacks, even going back to his collegiate days with Patrick Mahomes, and Baker Mayfield and the like. And then you get to the NFL and you had Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels. So we don't know if he's able to make it shake with a lesser quarterback or not. But that we're not concerned with that right now. We're not concerned with that. But I would give it to Kyle Shanahan. I've seen him do it for a longer period of time. I know what he's capable of, and I've seen him take less and get more out of it. I'm not sure if Cliff can do that or not. But we don't have to worry about that. Cliff isn't working with less. He's working with one of the best. So we don't got to worry about that. Anyway, I digress. So just to recap, we're getting out of here. And I just got all those notifications you heard going off on my phone. We may be we may be pushing the Super Friends back till tomorrow. If that's in fact the case, then you'll probably get me tonight live, because I won't be live on my channel the next 2 nights. I'll figure it out. We'll see. They're trying to figure out what everything's going to look like, but it sounds like they're trying to push that back till tomorrow night. So again, we'll see what happens. But in any event, I digress. I look forward to chopping it up with you guys whenever it is, whether it's later on tonight. Maybe I'll do a podcast episode tonight, because I was going to do the podcast tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do the podcast tonight. And maybe I'll talk to you guys about the schedule tomorrow during the day. And if we were doing Super Friends tomorrow night, then I'll just have to reconfigure my schedule. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T, here on the Command Post Live. You know what it is. Post up, take command. That's 2 and counting. Because Madrid is going down. Week 16 against the Eagles at home. The first of a doubleheader on Fox on a Saturday in Week 16, late in the season, the week before Christmas. Feels like it's setting the stage for a Christmas Day showdown with either the Bears or the Packers or possibly the Chiefs. Stay tuned. All I know is we up and we up and we up and it's stuck. Be wary. The Jaden Daniels effect is real. And it's coming to a screen near you. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Y'all better get ready. Ready or not, here we come. You can't hide.